Hi, this is a walkthrough of my second album of Project Life for 2017. So it opens with a week that I was actually away in Oregon for story camp. And so it kind of worked out that it's a shorter week, so it only took up a half of a spread. And something that I really started doing, you'll see it as the album progresses because I started doing it more and more, is using one collection for every spread. And there were a few benefits to that. One of the benefits was that, so one of the, I think, challenges of Project Life is that if you're somebody who prints in color, you can have a lot of varying colors that don't necessarily go together very well. And so that is kind of the role, I think, of embellishments, is to pull colors in. And when you kind of choose which embellishments you're going to use and which collections and colors you're going to use, that sort of determines, which colors in the photos are highlighted and then pulled together. And so I started using one collection. The other thing that I started doing is, this is one of the things I learned at Story Camp, is repeating embellishments, or repeating design elements, I should say. So like for this spread, for example, and this is an insert, but I'm just gonna hold it up so you can see the full spread. You'll see this design here where there's letter stickers and then a little red word strip. And so I repeated that 3 times and sort of in a visual triangle. And so I do that throughout this album. I'll show you as we walk through how often I do it. So I'm doing 2 things. I'm repeating in 3s, and then I'm also doing a triangle. And that's something that Ali Edwards does a lot. And I always really like it. I think that it creates a lot of balance visually. So this is an example of a week where I used one collection. Not necessarily one collection, but one kind of theme of pattern of embellishment throughout the spread. So each of these cards has one of these little rubber things, and then on every other card here I use these pink fresh puffy stickers. This spread uses one collection. So this is the July 2017 digital kit from Ali Edwards. And so every embellishment on this page is from that, except for these chipboard numbers. And so, like, if you look at these photos, there's this like bright blue that you don't really see anywhere else except for the bath here. Like there's a lot of different colors in these photos. These photos match okay, but in some spreads as we go on, you'll see that they don't really match very well. But the use of these embellishments here pulls these colors together. So like the green and the yellow. Let me see if I can find a better example. This spread uses the Lost and Found kit from Ali Edwards. And again, repeating an embellishment here, repeating a stamp throughout the journaling part. And so for this spread, I wrote, let's see, 7 things that I found this week and 1 thing that I lost. And I really like the use of, like, the middle of the spread is just journaling, and then the outer part of the perimeter is just photos. I really like that a lot. And so you can see that I repeated a design element again. So here is a little metal rim tag with a chipboard in the middle stapled, and then again here, and then there's a transparency word here and here. So again, sort of like across from each other, and then these little chipboard strips here in a triangle. And so this spread doesn't use one collection. It uses a couple different collections, but there's again a repeated design here of this speech bubbles, and then of these word letter stickers with a little gray word strip is here, here, and here. And then you can see this little circle, this little half circle design is here, here, and here. And then there's script here, here, and here. So again, like lots of triangles. And then I repeated this design. I had 2 of these chipboards. I can't remember why. I think I won one of them at Story Camp. So then I just printed another one out and cut it from the digital kit. And then on every single photo in this spread, I'm using white letter stickers. So just a repeated element is really nice for kind of tying everything together. And so then I use the same journaling card here. And then here I did again, a chipboard strip with white letters, repeated 1, 2, 3. And so this spread is a good example of a photo not matching. So if you look kind of visually at all of the colors, everything sort of matches except for this photo. And I would have made this black and white except that it's food, and I think black and white food is kind of gross. So, but you can see, like, if I were to take this photo out, you can see how everything kind of goes together really well. And then I introduced this like brown and it doesn't look as good. Now I left it because I think, you know, for my purposes, it's fine. And I just want to tell the story, and I just want the album, you know, to have our real life in it. But, you know, just thinking from like a design standpoint or from a visual standpoint, it sort of disrupts the flow. Again, I used repeated embellishments. So you've got these word letters or wood words here. And then let's see, did I repeat anything else? Kind of this bullet journaling is repeated here as well, actually. And then this is some art that my daughter did that week that I just like love this. I thought it was so pretty, and it went really well with this, with the colors and with these embellishments. And this spread is really colorful. This has several inserts. This was a big week, I guess. Oh, I see that I'm looking now, I see my journaling got sort of messed up here. There's like I don't know if you can see or not, but it's like all smushed over here. I have no idea why. Huh. Wonder if some water got in there or something. I have no idea. It's weird. So anyway, this uses Brandy Kincaid collection. And so again, you'll see like in these spreads, like this is all Ali Edwards and this is all Brandy Kincaid, because I think when you use a collection, everything's just a little bit more cohesive and kind of goes together. And this is a really colorful kit, and this was a really colorful week because there's flowers. I mean, it's summertime, so everything's, you know, vibrant and colorful. And I have lots of inserts here. And I tend not to worry so much about inserts matching and going together. I don't know why. I just don't think about it, even though they are in it and you're seeing it together. I think I just tend to design them separately, so I don't think about it as much. This spread uses the September digital kit from Ali Edwards. And so again, a lot of repeated elements and a lot of pulling in of colors. So if you were to think about just these pictures, you know, you can see that they don't necessarily go together well. But then, you know, I'm looking at these photos and I'm seeing like red here, red here, red here. So then I'm pulling in red on this card, and I'm seeing a lot of like blue. And so then I'm pulling in the blue here, and then gray. So I think, again, the role of the design elements or the pages and the embellishments and all of that is to help the pictures to sort of meld together well. This again is using Brandy Kincaid for the most part. And this is something, I do this a lot. I'll slip in, like I'll sometimes have multiple photos in a pocket. I got this like a couple weeks later from my mom. And so I just slipped it in this week and just put it over this photo because I didn't want to forget that it was in there, but I'll remember that the photo was in it because you can see, so. And so the other thing that I thought about a lot with spreads, with my Project Life spreads in this second album, is the idea of a theme within the week. And again, that's something Ali Edwards does a lot. So this title card is avocado and toast, and that's something that my daughter actually super loves. So I was very excited when I saw that card. And so I thought of connections. So a lot of this spread, the photos and the stories are around connections. So her and her friends, her meeting a new baby, her and her family, and then of course randomly just me and pizza because it was a funny story. So although this story is sort of about connection for me. So just lots of kind of thematic focus, whether it's visually or kind of content wise. And I repeated this actually was a couple weeks back. But I thought, well, there's no rule that says I can't use it again if I like it. So this is all Brandy Kincaid except for this. And again, pulling lots of colors in. So like, I'm always thinking in terms of triangles when I'm laying everything out. I'm thinking in terms of triangles of color. So there's yellow, yellow, yellow. This like kind of a diamond. There's this cork embellishment that I repeated, 1, 2, 3. So just kind of a formula. And then this spread uses the Time story kit from Ali Edwards and pulled in a lot of the blues. And these two pictures, I actually made them black and white because they were very yellow because they were at night. And it was just very disruptive visually because this photo's pretty yellow and this photo's kind of yellow, and it just seemed like it was too much. But it was fine. I kind of like them black and white. I tend not to like black and white very well, actually. This spread, again, holding up the insert, this spread uses a Sahin Designs collection. I can't remember what it's called, but I did a lot of these little, I don't know what those would be called, little label journaling. And then this is the Eat Story kit from Ellie Edwards, and then this one is the October digital kit. And this all uses a collection from Sahin Designs. I can't remember what it's called again. But something that I think I like about using collections is that they tend to be released around the same time that I use these, or that I'm going to scrapbook, and the colors of the collections tend to go with the season. So like this is a very fall color scheme, and these were all fall photos. And so, you know, we obviously pick colors of the season because of that's kind of the color of life. And so I think it helps everything to go together. I think this is another good example of like this red is sort of visually intrusive. So if I were to take that out, you see everything kind of flows, and then I put this in and it's kind of like, oh gosh. But I left it again because I didn't want to turn this to black and white, because one of the reasons I included this photo is because I love these shoes and I love this bag. And so I didn't want to lose the colors of that. So top priority is always the story of my life, and you know, even if it doesn't go together perfectly visually. And so this uses the October digital kit. And again, a repeated embellishment here on each of these pages. And then you probably can't see it, but behind each of these digital elements is a photo that I decreased the transparency, so it's not like a very vibrant photo because I wanted to be able to see the stamp. But it's a little photo that goes with each of the journaling pieces. So like this one's about the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and so that's a picture of him. And again, repeating, not in a triangle, but repeating these little chipboard elements here, and then repeated this story element here. And this was the week that I discovered In a Creative Bubble, which is a really fun brand that I super duper love. And I was so excited about the way that these colors all went together. I really, really love all of that visually. So used that collection all the way across. I don't even know actually if all of this is the same collection. I just know it's the same company. So a lot of times people have such a specific style that even things from different kits will still go together. And then repeating chipboard circles here, and then repeating chipboard strips here. Again, this is several different Ellie Edwards kits, but again, they go together because her style is so distinctive. Again, chipboard circle triangle. See, I do that a lot. This is using the Time story kit from Ellie Edwards. This is again doing the repeated journaling with a photo to begin, and then just all the same with some variation among the top part. And then a triangle of circle chipboard, and then a triangle of a heart with a word strip. So this all uses Brandy Kincaid. Again, a pretty colorful week. And I repeat a little heart with a magic moment stamped in a staple, 1, 2, 3. And I repeated this little flag here. And this uses the Give story kit from Ellie Edwards, at least, well, maybe it's not. Yeah, I think most of it is Give, but it's all story kits from Ellie Edwards. And so repeated the metal rim tag here with the star. And I think I sort of, you know, a circle's a circle, so again, repeating it here. And then repeating these 3 of the corkboard banners. And this is all using, I think, the December digital kit from last year for Ellie Edwards. And again, repeating here this metallic heart. And this is when December Daily started. So whenever December Daily starts, it sort of hijacks everything. And so what I end up doing for Project Life is just, rather than having a full spread for a week, I just have a half spread for every week. So this uses a Sahin Designs collection, and then I repeated these gray circles and these little gray word strips from Ellie Edwards. And then this week is a great example, again, of how colors don't really go together. Like visually, I don't think there's it's not awful, but it's definitely not sort of as matchy-matchy as other weeks. And this is another one. So I used December daily product for this spread. And this is a letter she included with the order for everybody. And then this page and this page are both the last week of December. When I designed them, I had them laying out full, you know, so they went together, but then I obviously had to separate them in the actual album. All right, thanks for watching.